We have an amazing crew, 100% pros.
Guys, bring me the band gear. Right there, beautiful.
I'd rather have my job. It's a long day for them.
Is that the best?
When those lights go down and the band hits the stage, it's goosebumps.
Legendary Canadian rock band Rush has enjoyed an impressive record-breaking career that has spanned 3 decades and produced over 30 albums, all the while winning the respect of music critics and the hearts of devoted fans around the world. Since releasing their first album back in 1974, Rush has sold over 40 million records. They've toured the world many times over, selling out hundreds of live stadium-rocking shows. When guitarist Alex Lifeson, drummer Neil Peart, and lead vocalist, bassist Geddy Lee go on tour, they bring with them some heavy artillery. 7 tractor trailers hauling an entire stage production. Lights, video, pyro, sound, along with 40 men and women whose job it is to set it all up.
Everything with red tape on the back goes stage right, downstage right.
Run it.
House lights go. 2, 1,
and tear it down. All in the course of a grueling 18-hour day. It's 8 a.m. at the John Labatt Center, and the first of 7 tractor trailers has been unloaded or dumped, with the help of 40 local stage crew hired on to assist with the heavy lifting. The man overseeing the entire operation, which includes the coordination of the 40 full-time Rush Road crew, is production manager Craig Blazer.
We're in London, Ontario, which is Canada, North American continent, okay, planet Earth. I'm the production manager. My job is to do all of the technical advance, labor advance, you know, basically go through hotels with the travel agent, check in, check out of the hotels, coordinate transportation with our buses and our trucks. I'm kind of the mediator for the crew, you know, the crew boss, so to speak. You know, we just try to make everything run smoothly. My career has spanned 33 years. As a production manager for 24 years. Prior to that, I was an audio engineer from 1975 until 83. And I've done a lot of things in between. I've driven tour coaches, I've driven trucks. You know, I'm kind of a jack of all trades. Looking good? Excellent.
At each stop on this 4-month tour, assembling the show's lights, video screens, and sound system can take up to 6 hours. Before any of those key components can be raised, 57 lifting chains must be mounted by the rigging team in the ceiling above the stage.
It's controlled confusion every morning.
All right, 5, 4.5.
Basically, our beam spread, if you flip up real quick, you got 11-foot center. So you got a beam at center, the next beam is 11 feet off center. Yeah, more or less, a little more, but they lied. They always do. You know, it's amazing how many people don't know exactly their own building. But, so now I'm making a triangle, so my point hits on the floor where I want it. You know, it's basic algebra. But in here, it's more of a guesswork on experience. Because of time. 5, 5. fun part of the job. Now I'm going to go pull things up to the roof. Now that you marked them on the floor, you got to pull them up.
It's a long day for them. You know, they start very early in the morning. Fletch is in here rigging the points, and it's really interesting to watch how the show goes up over the course of you know, 8 or 9 hours and comes down in the space of about 45 minutes. It's pretty amazing to see that.
But I'm going to go off with these guys, and that, you know, the bridles we were calling, that's what I was talking about earlier. See them up, and they correspond to the points on the floor. So I'm going to go get some in this back area that are a little more painful because they don't normally rig back in here. So we're going to hang some off these roof trusses up back in there. So somehow I'm going to hang my ass up there. Oh yeah, I'm probably supposed to watch my language. All right, we'll see you in a minute.
We have an amazing crew. We've had a lot of different crews over the 400 years that we've been touring, and it always amazes me the level of professionalism and the seemingly tireless effort that they put in for us. They're 100% pros, and it's a long day for those guys.
Very well, thanks. And George, I don't know if you've met George yet, but he'll be out here helping direct you as well.
All right. Okay.
George, this is Dave right here.
Dave, how you doing, Dave? How's it going?
Isn't that How's It Going, eh?
Well, yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Stage manager and production manager work pretty close together. I've been on this Rush tour for 22 years. Been basically the carpenter, set carpenter the whole time. First thing in the morning, CB and I scope out the area to make sure that we have the proper location for storage and for load out and for the load in. And it just carries on from there. Things will change as the day goes. And, you know, it's just played by ear, basically, is what happens.
Well, this may help us on the loadout. I'm thinking about what we do is we come off the upstage left corner with a 4x8 at 4 foot. We use a 6-foot ramp, and it'll come out enough that we can put a 16-foot ramp going upstage. So we just do a 90-degree with the gear, and that'll help facilitate us getting out of here much faster. Yeah, we bring 4x8 this way, put a 6-foot ramp down. That gives us enough room. We put a ramp down this way and turn it, and the 8-foot comes to here, so it's not going to really hurt the band coming in and out.
That will work, except for our big carts.
Well, the carts are going to have to go up forklift. What we can do then probably is we might be able to get those up.
Don't ride your cart, same thing. We'll have to come down.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that'll be done. We can get a forklift over there to the edge of the stage.
Yeah.
If we have to, we can bring the stairs upstage a little bit. He can come right in here with it, and they'll just have to keep that orange truss. They'll have to keep that up a ways until we can actually get that in.
While CB and George continue to work on the loadout plan, the rest of the Rush roadies begin to assemble the various elements needed for tonight's performance. On the Snakes and Arrows tour, a 4-man sound crew, along with the help of some additional local labor, is responsible for assembling the band's monster 160,000-watt sound system. With many of the smaller road cases now safely stored under the stage, this has opened up room on both sides of the stage that will allow the instrument technicians to set up what will be their work areas for the next 12 hours. Meanwhile, up on the stage, lighting technician Matt Tucker is preparing to raise the show's main 8-piece lighting truss that is referred to as the Snake.
Yeah, what we're doing now is we're about to lift the entire snake truss at once. First, I have to pump every single motor and make sure I have control of it. On stage, truss moving!
Out on the stage, the lighting grid is starting to go up. While down on the floor, the road crew undertakes the arduous task of storing all those empty road cases.
Are there any hands available to do these side thrusts? Because you know what, the PA's up.
Yeah, give me a minute. We got guys on break. As soon as they come off break, we'll get them for you.
Thank you. I'm going to find a spot for you right now, guys. We are going to put a ramp over here. And we're going to fork from here as well.
Are you kidding me, right?
Nope. You'll be out of the way by the time we're forking stuff up.
Yeah, well, tonight, yeah, you'd have to wait. But
We're putting a ramp up tonight for loadout right there.
Fine here, but if you're going to want to fork stuff on from here, that...
No, off.
Well, sorry, the mic's on, but it's going to shut up.
We're going to fork off here once you're done.
Oh, so you're just going to fork
You'll be gone
stuff
by
off.
then. Yeah,
oh, okay,
yeah, don't worry.
That's fine then. All right.
We'll take stuff up the ramp that we have to.
Okay.
The only thing that's going to go up there...
fork stuff on here. Oh, no, don't do it from this area.
No, we'll be all right.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Don't you worry.
Okay, everything I said about you just recently, I take that all back. Did you get that?
You need to mic this guy, okay?
No.
Yeah.
No, I charge big time.
That's okay. They'll pay.
Actra.
They got money.
It's Actra
They got
union rules,
cash.
man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What?
And what is it you do?
I don't know. Somebody said there was going to be a camera crew here, so I thought I'd show up.
Excellent.
Make sure my love sculpture's all fixed up, though.
It's looking good.
Is it love sculpture's happening?
Yeah, looking good.
But the new gel there, you know.
I'll meet you over there right now.
As the drum riser gets lifted onto the stage, stage manager George Steinert and his crew get set to roll out the carpet.
Okay, you guys can roll that out. Watch that cable.
Back at the John Labatt Centre in London, Ontario, it's now 11 a.m. and the band's 160,000 watt sound system has already been assembled and raised into place. While lighting technician Matt Tucker is now putting the show's lighting grid through a quick test to make sure all 130 programmable lights are firing up. Once the grid checks out, it too will be raised into position 40 feet above the stage.
As you can see, we're only 2 hours and 11 minutes into it, and we've already got lighting off the floor. Things are moving along very quickly, so this is a very good house. So far, it's very smooth. It's all timing. You can only start certain things at a certain time. You can't jump ahead of yourself, because if you do that, then you're basically getting in the way of someone else. And then that's where those hard feelings come in about, you know, and the crew is like, wait a minute, you got your gear in my way again. What's wrong? You know, it's a fight between audio and lighting and video, and that's why I'm the referee. Okay, time out. Let's talk about chairs. Okay, because what we want to do, we can't really do anything. My monitor engineer can't finish setting up.
Right,
until the chair carts are gone.
Yeah.
So I need to start this as soon as possible. It's my job to try to find more space to put bodies. Because on a house like this, we're basically sold out. There are people who want tickets, and we would, you know, we want as many people to see the show as can possibly see it. We're only here for one night. Essentially what we can do is, why don't we call this the front of house audio mix.
Okay. And how deep is this before this one starts?
He just needs 10 feet.
Okay.
Okay.
Andrew's coming to see me right now. I'll just have him bump it all back. We'll get it over there.
Yeah, and then and that'd be great. Then we can probably get another row or two.
Definitely.
Hey, Anthony.
We're starting to bring band gear on. I want to get some of it on here before the carpet goes down, because I don't want to wreck the carpet, which sometimes does happen. So, but right now I'm going to set up a ramp up stage left, so I can ramp up band gear that way. Guys, yeah, you got it. Think you're on a wheel there. Bring it this way a little bit. Oh, you're okay there. All right. Can you push it all the way on? There you go, right there. Just hang on to it, guys, when it's coming forward, so it doesn't teeter. This is the drum riser. I'll meet you over there right now. Just take this all the way up. I need 24 feet.
Sorry, I'll just be 1 second.
All right, if I can get a couple carps to come with me, we'll do a ramp.
With being out here and doing this during the day, I have to maximize my time. There's really no off time for me. And fortunately, my lovely wife Karen is able to do this tour with me and other tours as well.
I'm a production assistant. We're working in the production office with my husband Craig, who's production manager. Pretty much, well, before we get to a gig, I've advanced to catering with the local crew. I deal with the runners and crew requests, guest list, tickets, the stocking of the buses, which is always a lot of fun, and pretty much like a go-to, whatever you need during the day. CB and I have been working together for the last 12 years on the road, and if we're lucky, we get to go out 4 to 6 months a year. That's what we hope for every year. So we've worked with Rush. This is our 4th tour with them since 1996, Test for Echo, and always look forward to going out with these guys. This is our favorite. This is our family, and love working with my husband. Yeah, it's great. I wouldn't be out here unless he was out here. I couldn't handle it. You were down here, Warren.
I was told 4.
No, it's not. It was right where your case was. Sorry.
So 1, not 4.
1.
Okay.
That's why we put our stuff down.
As the backstage areas, such as the tour's temporary production office and the band's dressing rooms, get set up, out in the arena, stage manager George Steiner is preparing to cover the stage with the band's carpet. Once it's in place, the instrument technicians can go to work setting up the band's gear, known as the back line.
I'm going to take this right over. A lot of things have to go in order in order for the other people to set up. And the big issue is to get the lighting rig up so we can get the carpet down, get the band gear on. That's the big deal. A little bit more, please. Touch more. Easy. Okay. We're going to start rolling it out, but I'm going to stop you because I want it to be straight. Go ahead, start rolling. Okay, stop. I'm coming up stage. Watch yourself. No, just... Okay, keep rolling. Watch yourself. Okay, we're gonna have to go upstage again. Off the carpet for a second. Yeah, you're in a bad spot, Peaches. Hopefully we're gonna hit center. Where's my mark?
Oh, look at that, eh?
Okay, you guys can roll that out. Watch that cable.
Where are we in the day? Yeah, let's see. My watch says 12:32, so we're coming up to a point where we have about another 2 hours to go. You know, not really the total setup, but we'll be utilizing hands for another couple hours. Now we're moving to set up back line. We're getting to that particular point. Carpet goes down. Once that's in place, George is happy with it, the placement of it. Then the drum riser goes down, and that constitutes, that's the center of the universe as the stage goes, and everything works off of that. Hey, get George's dance. You got to get George's dance. Look at him dance. Look at him dance. Look at him go. Woo, George. He's got those happy feet. Hey, George, you're on tape. Your happy feet. That's the
There's
that's
a gap
a St.
right here.
Catherine's shuffle.
Okay,
Call that.
guys, let's get on this now, please. The drum riser.
Okay, so he's happy with that. Drum riser will now be
Want to pull
going
that
up.
other floor plate that's inside there, please? You're going to go right above.
And the drum riser itself too is it rotates.
Stay upstage.
You know, it goes all the way around because he's got a double kit front and back on that. So it's pretty interesting.
All band gear comes up now. Basically, we're going to do backline setup. All the drum cases will come on. Jack will put keyboards as he's starting right now. So now it's going to take a little bit of time. Guys, bring me the band gear. This is the part where I go, ah, good. Now their boxes are coming up and then I can have lunch. Yeah. Easy on the carpet, please. We'll come right down center here. The four key guys are obviously Lauren Wheaton is a drum tech. We call the guitar tech Bucky, that's his name. Russ Ryan, who's Getty's guitar tech, and Jack is the keyboard tech and does all the MIDI applications. And then you have the Barbados.
Setting up the backline on this tour takes roughly 2 hours. However, Neil Peart's extensive drum kit requires an additional 90 minutes of assembly time. Still, it's not all hard work. Over the many years of touring, this road crew has found numerous ways to inject humor into the daily routine.
When Getty got his chicken rotisseries, we're sitting there with this big amp stack up there, and we're like, wow, he's outdone us. What can we do to change that? And we're like, it was like, well, he's got hot chickens, why don't we get some hot chicks? And we couldn't really just put a bunch of real women on the stage, so we got all these little Barbies and made him his little groupie row. The dinosaurs, his grandkids are really into dinosaurs, so the dinosaurs started popping up, one here, one there, and now, I mean, it started out with 4 Barbies and 2 dinosaurs, and we're up to 30-something Barbies and 40-something dinosaurs.
The dinosaurs, we just started collecting them, and now we've received a couple. We just received this pterodon a couple of gigs ago, and on this T-Rex we received a while ago, and we sourced out a lot of good ones here. Spinosaurus is an awesome version of it, I have to say. And the girls, of course, it's nice to have a gallery of shorter girls than me. But, you know, it's all about keeping the spirits up and the morale high and laughs, not only for us here, but for the audience.
At first, when those things started happening on stage, we just thought they were kind of one-offs. And then we realized that's part of what we are, and that's part of our life out here on the road. So now we spend more time planning things like that and giving the guys an opportunity to be interactive in the show.
The fish tank idea, we were just looking at the glass windows, and we're like, wow, what if we put a fish tank in there? It'd be kind of cool looking. And we thought about it for a couple weeks. It was like, no way can we put water in there. It's danger on the stage, and with all the electronics and stuff. And so I went out and found all these little fish.
I think it's fun when the audience can walk away with a smile on their face. And I love to look out there, and I love to see when people start laughing and smiling, and not because we were playing lousy, but because we set up some comic situation. So they're spending 3 hours with us, you know. So I think there needs to be some comic relief in that 3 hours.
There's no better feeling than to know that people are leaving your gig smiling and laughing because they had such a good time. That's really, I think, the key with us.
As the Rush merchandise flies out the door, backstage, Chef Frenchie prepares to warm up the band.
Looks lovely.
While out in the arena, things really heat up. Setting up this rock and roll roadshow also includes the sale of the extensive Rush Snakes and Arrows merchandising line. The man who handles all those black tees is Patrick McLaughlin.
This is essentially a rolling warehouse. Right now we have 32 different items, and that'll fluctuate anywhere from 30 to 35 during the space of the tour. We'll shift new stuff in for different markets. Last tour we did some kind of funny cowboy hats for down in the Southwest, and blew through those. And then when you get up north, then you may introduce some colder weather things. So the hoodies are flying right now, and that's how the warehouse kind of ebbs and flows. And this is all baseball jerseys and hoodies. And that area will become bigger as you get into a cold weather place, but then you're in Phoenix and there's nothing. The aisle down the middle is obviously necessary so we can get to everything. It's not a matter of just loading skids onto a truck. We built these shelves all the way through here because the airspace in the truck is very valuable. So the restocking, that's a continual process. Every 3 or 4 days, the inventory is being turned over, and so we'll have shipments come in from overseas, Canada, and the U.S., different suppliers, and it all arrives, and then we throw it on the truck, and then you at the start of each leg of the tour. This warehouse, the truck here is impossible to move in. There's not a big, nice, wide aisle. You have to climb over boxes to get to anything. And then we're always saying, "Oh my God, we can't do anything in here." And then a few days later, it's all gone. So, yeah, right now we've got a couple shows left, so we've got a lot of breathing room actually. So it's kind of nice right now. The Rush fans are fantastically loyal. They love the band and they love anything to do with them. And all the way through, Rush has had a very high quality merchandise line. And in terms of how Rush performs in the merchandising world, we're on the top end of the scale of the per head basis. They've got a great bunch of fans who are just rabid and they eat it up. And the vendors always wonder when we arrive at the building, "Wow, are you giving us too much merchandise?" And I say, "Hey man, this is Rush. Get ready. Put on your sweats. This is no dress rehearsal." Yeah, and then they believe me by the end of the night. If I were to not show up and the truck got lost, the show would still go on, but because the show gets set up, it has nothing to do with merchandise, really. But for the fan, it would be a big disappointment because a lot of fans that I talk to, they don't even necessarily wear concert tees or the different doodads, but they show up, and that's part of the experience for them, is to grab that concert t-shirt.
Back in the arena, it's now approaching 1 p.m. With roughly 6.5 hours until showtime, the backline setup is roughly 50% complete. Meanwhile, backstage, the band's personal nutritionist, Bruce French, has now set up his mobile kitchen in what is usually the local hockey team's dressing room. And he's just started to prepare the band's pre-show meal.
I did this charity thing on Monday at the golf course, and it's a farmer, and he brought me all baskets of all these organic vegetables that he grows on his farm.
Gore.
And they're just awesome. So I brought you a basket.
Let's love them up.
Yeah, check out that.
Oh man,
it's
that's
made
beautiful.
Of braid and yeah, it's all fantastic.
That's beautiful.
He says it's not a speck of anything bad on any of this stuff.
Oh man, I can feel the love just oozing off of it.
Yeah, we roasted a bunch of them yesterday. It makes such a difference.
All the difference in the world. That's what makes my gig so great.
You can use them.
Love it. Is that the best? This is my my little rock and roll kitchen du jour. I take this stuff all over the world, and I take the freshest local organic product I can find. I use a local helper, and we put as much love into the preparation and the washing and turn it into a meal and watch that transformation into a great rock and roll show. Everything from pots and pans, fans. We carry our own cooker. Even the kitchen sink comes in a box, and as long as I've got a drain and a water source, we're rocking and rolling. Every now and again, Getty has friends in Toronto that raise meat. Yeah, I get garden produce with some frequency. Not as much, of course, as I'd like, but you know, we try to support the local economy as well. So homegrown supports a whole nother thing. You can see we have a couple of little critters in here, which just goes to show that it's been raised organically, and there's enough to share for all. That's lovely. Anybody can live on hotel food. It just doesn't have the soul, the life force into it. Somebody that's going through the motions of just doing a gig isn't going to put the same feeling and vibration into it that somebody does that I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a love factor. You can't buy a love factor.
It's 2 p.m. and the back line is now in place. Guitar technician Bobby Huck and bass tech Russ Ryan will now spend the next 90 minutes tuning up the band's instruments, while Lauren Wheaton will finish assembling the drum kit.
We're at 2:25. We started at 9 o'clock. So do the math. We're at 5.5 hours. You know, it's very good. Chair crews will be finished in the next probably hour, and you know, we've got pretty much everything on stage. Lauren is finishing up with the drum kit, which is quite the job. Anson is now finishing miking the drums. Everything else seems to be up, and we're looking good. We're ready to go. I mean, it's the crew's made it a very easy day for us today. Local crew here is really great, you know, very cordial, and they know what they're doing. And my guys are all pretty mellow, and you know, a lot of the local people give me comments on my crew as to, you know, what a joy it is to work and pleasure it is to work with professionals who don't yell and scream. And what I do is I think about the fact that we've all been out here for so many years that we found that yelling and screaming doesn't get anything accomplished, and the nicer you are, the better it works. You know, you get a lot of complaints from the younger groups that come out, young kids who think rock and roll is supposed to be, you know, drinking drugs and all of that. Well, that's not what we're about anymore. We did that. We're done with it. Now we just want to live in a longer life and be able to have a life off the road at some point.
effects are an important element in the Snakes and Arrows performance. Each night, 8 propane-powered burners ignite the audience with a spectacular eruption. At each venue on this tour, the local fire prevention officer is called out just prior to the band's sound check to make sure pyrotechnician John Aerosmith's gear is up to code.
Stand by for dragon test on stage. Fire in the hole.
Once the local fire inspector gives the okay, it's time for the stage manager to finish dressing up the stage.
We're looking pretty good right now. We're all cleaned up. We have a few things yet to put in place. We have the Getty's props to put in place. Pretty much done. We're looking good. We should be done probably in about 15-20 minutes. And that's about it.
As showtime approaches, Frenchie gets cooking, while die-hard Rush fans greet the band. But before the boys can make any noise, something doesn't quite sound right.
It's weird. It's hard to tell you because I can't hear it.
It's 3:30 p.m. in London, and the road crew is now patiently waiting for the band to arrive for the sound check.
Coming up. Actually, I'm going to escort our friend Michael up here so he can get a photo of himself in front of the kit. Something that all the fans would love to do, but only certain ones have the privilege. Wow. 4 o'clock band is here. You know, we're just doing some last-minute things. We'll be doing line check right now. Line check constitutes checking all of the audio, vocal, line check, channels, the DIs, the microphones, all of that. Some of the most important part of all of this is, let me show you, is the, of course, Alex's entourage of groupies, okay? Yeah, totally out of control. And then really the miking all of the hen houses is like really critical. The mics have to be in just the perfect position. And as Rick, being a sound man, knows, you've got to have mics in the perfect position. No doubt about it. So, hey, this is Getty's back line now. It's nice.
Line check, the tour's sound engineers discover that there is a problem with the audio feed coming from Alex Lifeson's amplifiers.
Still there?
Although they can't hear any noise coming from the amps, they can see on the mixing console that there's some audio noise leaking in to the system.
Can we try swapping the audio lines out of the Palmers and see if it follows?
We did that. It did follow.
All right.
I did swap the audio lines, the XLRs. I did swap those, and it moved. We swapped the 1/4 inches in and out, and it moved as well. So it's in front of the Palmers, and this is the spare amp. So
probably in front of the amp.
It's in front of the amp. Something going into the amp.
It's weird. It's hard to tell you because I can't hear it. It's just making.
Yeah, and I can't. It sounds great in the.
Yeah, it does. It sounds normal. It just, for some weird reason, the right channel is still sitting at you know, minus 17, that same thing we were talking about.
Hold this. Just hold that right there.
Guitar technician Bobby Huck quickly decides to swap one of the amplifiers with a standby unit to see if it's the source of the rogue signal.
Just have a little bit of problems. We'll work it out.
So what happened with the amp, we're having an issue where we're getting a little bit of resonance on the channel coming from nowhere we could figure out. Until we finally got into the back, we found that this cable here, from going from hot to cold, it's ended up getting a little bit of cold solder and popped loose traveling down the road in the back of the truck. So we just bypassed this and we're back in business. But for a minute it was a piece of work, and now it's all good. That's the first time something like this has happened, but you have little things happen here and there, and you just got to cope with them. I mean, you're traveling with electronic gear going back and forth in trucks and down bumpy roads. I mean, things are going to happen, and I knew I'd get it fixed. Things happen and you fix it. It's always good to have anybody do some teamwork stuff. So, I mean, we're all a team out here, so that's the most important part of the whole thing, is that everybody works together. So.
All right, if I play this for a bit.
Oh, jeez!
Oh!
Oh, Alex is gonna kick your ass.
Never mind.
With the audio mystery solved, the band makes their way to the stage for a quick sound check.
After about 5 minutes, we were paid to stop.
We do sound check, then it's dinner for everyone. And then it's just kind of kicking back and relaxing until showtime, until doors open. And then we watch the punters come in and away we go.
While Rush runs through their 4-song sound check, backstage in the production office, Craig and Karen Glazer deal with another pre-show glitch.
Who's this?
Some people think it's a vacation out here, but and they'd love to do our jobs until they do it one day.
Oh, Craig's. There was supposed to be a runner at the airport today?
Yeah, there's supposed to be a runner. I told you that yesterday. A runner at the airport to pick up Adrian and those guys.
Okay,
I had the information.
All right, we'll send one.
How far is the airport from
How far
here?
is the airport from here, do you know?
Take a limo where they're coming straight here?
Yeah.
Tell them to take a cab.
Yeah, just take a cab. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they can afford it.
We forgot the guitar player's son at the airport.
After sound check, normally, you know, the band, of course, goes back. They have their dinner, relax for a little bit. It's really great to have your own chef to be able to come in and fix all of those foods that you like.
Tonight we're doing a regional walleye pike, and again, it's a fresh pick from the market. Beautiful goods. So we'll do a little salad course as well. and I don't know, a little bit we improvise as we go. It'll let you know how. I've always loved the cooking part. The travel has come naturally to it. The love of music, a wanderlust spirit, and it also nurtures the creative end. I love finding the best local stuff and preparing it with a little bit of a regional flair. So it's just good, and good. Having somebody looking after your food, at least, is a benefit the band has. That from a managerial standpoint, it's really smart. Keep your boys healthy and vibrant, and they're going to put out extra love on stage. Getty, please. These guys are so inspirational from the message that their songs put out, and all the lives and people they've touched. Proud to be a part of that and do my little bit. For King.
After the meal break, with just 1 hour to showtime, 2 of the band's members arrive backstage to attend what is known in the music industry as a meet and greet.
Neil won't do a meet and greet because he believes that he's no better than anyone else that's out there, you know, and he just doesn't want to do that. Someone has to, and Getty and Alex have the personalities to take care of that.
Once the meet and greet is wrapped up, the countdown to showtime begins.
We're getting close to showtime, boys, so I do have to go. So I'm off. I'll see you later. The best time is when the house lights go out and the crowd yells. It's still goosebumps. Every night, after all these years, it's still the excitement because there's such an energy level that comes off of those 11,000 or however many thousand people that are out there. When those lights go down and the band hits the stage, it's goosebumps. And if you don't get that, you've been in the business too long. Stand by for video roll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll. When the band goes on, it's kind of my downtime to work on other projects. And of course, we always have to keep an eye on the clock because there's certainly things to do. Once they come off, we do a timing for the video roll for the beginning of the second set. And, you know, so I have to keep track of that, which isn't difficult. It's just a matter of keeping focused. They perform great every night, you know. It's like any other group. Sometimes you're on, sometimes you're off. These guys never really seem to be off. Their crowd, you know, their fans are just, you know, they love them. This has been a great day, you know. Union crew has been great. Very smooth in today. Everything went up nicely. The rig went well, lights went up fast. Everything has been it's been a good day. It really has.
We hope we'll see you again sometime.
Stopwatch. Here we go. This time's the loadout. Go!